That's why maybe you've heard me talk about the co-management agreement. Have you heard me talk about that?
No, I haven't.
Okay, not to complicate things, but that's why, like here in my county, there's 2 million people. There's about 5 to 7 cities with about 100,000. I need 15 offices to handle all the major cities in this county. So we have a real high density population county. So I need 15 offices. So how can I have 15 offices and be a player without spending all the money and time opening 15 up? I just go to the chiropractors in the cities that I need a chiropractor. I said, hey, I'll refer you the patients. And it's not a kickback, it's a co-management agreement. Say, I'll refer the cases over to you, because when I sell attorneys, you're always going to have cases from that attorney that's in another city in your county. Always. They don't always have cases in your backyard. So I said, hey, how about if when I refer you cases, I get 30%. Now we work, this is not a kickback, we work together on it. I'm going to help you with the diagnosis, make sure the documentation's done right, all that stuff. You treat the patient, you keep 70%, I keep 30%. I do all the diagnostic tests. I keep 100% of the diagnostic test. Now, just to share with you, now, if I said that to you, Steve, I'll refer you PI cases. You treat them, you do most of the work, okay? You do the workup, the treatment, all that. Now I'm going to work with you. I'm going to make sure the diagnoses are right, the documentation is correct. I want to make, because everything has to be good for the referring attorney that I create. Now, Steve, I'll refer you that case and we'll work together on the case. You get 70%, I'll take 30%. Would you do it, Steve?
Absolutely.
Right. Now, I keep 100% of the diagnostics. So the diagnostics are the CRMA, Dynarom, and the JTAC. Well, let's say I charge $350 each. Well, let's round it to 300. 369. So I'm gonna do them twice, one at the beginning, one at the end. So that's $1,800 for the diagnostics and 30%. So if the case average was $5,000, that's $1,500. So I'm making roughly $3,000 a case. See how this works?
I do. Yep.
And I'm not treating a patient. Okay. I just told you what I'm doing.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if I only did one diagnostic case per patient, not two, so let's say that's $900 plus $1,500. So it comes out to about $2,500 per PI case. And remember, I'm not treating them. I'm consulting with them, etc. Okay. How much money is that? Well, 10 cases a month at 2,500 is $25,000, right?
Yes.
So 10 cases a month over a year is $300,000. 30 cases a month, 25 times 30. I'm at $1 million a year in diagnostic tests, only doing 30 PI cases a month with an overhead of about 7%. And I'm not the one processing the cases. That's my co-marketing management agreement. Now, the reason you want to consider doing that is, well, when you start getting good at creating referrals, right? The attorneys want you and your system and this documentation you're learning. How smart would it be to create the referrals that somewhere else that you don't have a business and now you're not getting any of that revenue? How smart would that be?
That wouldn't be smart.
Wouldn't be smart. So that's what's eventually you want to look to down the road is go, wait a minute, I get this thing up and going. When I do these attorney sales, I'm going to have these attorneys have clients in other areas that want my documentation. And instead of me opening an office there, because how stupid would it be to go open an office there and there's only one or two clients, and then you have to run over there and service them in addition to your office? How stupid would that be?
Yeah, a little wasted time with that.
No, it's called stupid. It's called stupid. You just doubled your work, doubled your overhead, doubled your amount of time for no reason at all. That's called stupid. And that's what chiropractors do. The attorney will say, well, do you have something, do you have an office over here? And then the chiropractor will run over there and open an office for one or two patients or three patients. And then he runs his ass back and forth. You know how much you can build a practice running back and forth?
No, you can't.
You can't. Now, eventually what you can do is when there's enough cases in that area, then you just go ahead and open an office. But what do you think I'd rather do? Offer that guy 50% or open an office, all the time, effort, and money, and open an office for 50% overhead?
Yeah, that sounds better.
You think I'd rather give you 50% than me spend the money to open an office, equip an office, manage an office, hire, train the office? You think I'd rather do all that or just give you 50%, Steve?
No, you just want to give me 50%.
You think I'd probably give you 60%?
Sure. Depends on how much you trust me, and if it's sufficient, then you're like,
Well,
yeah, let's keep this going.
well, I don't know. Trust isn't the issue. It's the pain in the ass and money and time on me to open a second office. So have you ever opened a second office before?
No.
Okay. Yeah, so there's a certain degree of pain in the ass.
Mm-hmm.
You got to staff it. You got to find it. You got to pay it. You got the liability. You got the overhead. Right?
Right.
At what point is that not worth me, and it's worth just paying you a little more than I would get anyway?
Right out of the gate, it's worth it.
My overhead's going to be 50%. That's chiropractic's overhead's 50 to 70%. Let's just say 50%. So I'll easily give you 50% to do all that I don't have to do it. Hell, will I give you 55? Yeah. Would I probably give you 60? Yeah. Now, but it would depend on the volume now. Well, how much business are you getting, and what does that extra 10% or 15% mean, or 20% mean? Like 50 to 70%. How much money is that 20%? That's my real number for how much of a pain in the ass am I willing to go to cut you out of it, and me keep the extra 20%, and you get 70%, me get 30, or you get 60% and me get 40. You see?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
If it's not that much money, I don't want to go there. I don't want to deal with all that shit. But if it's a nice chunk of pie, in my mind, if it was over $100,000, I'd do it. If it was under $100,000, I wouldn't do it. I'd just give you 60% and me not screw with it. You see that?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. That's a pure business decision, right?
Absolutely.
Okay. So that's one of the things that you want. Now, it's a bigger mindset. I don't want to blow your mind, because most of the time doctors are just trying to wrap their head around, doing personal injury in their own office. But after
There's nothing wrong with planting a seed.
you get this down,
Mm-hmm.
you go, well, I got this down. I know how to talk to attorneys. I know what to say. I know how to document. I know how to create referrals. And then you're like, yeah, because you're going to be creating this business, whether you like it or not. When you do presentations, you're going to be creating business that's outside of your geographic radius of draw. They're not going to have every one of their clients in your backyard. You go, well, that's a good venue to capture it. Keep 100% of the diagnostics, contract with that person, give them 70%, you keep 30%, you make about $2,500 per case, and you're not even processing the patient. 10 cases, $250,000. And what kind of overhead? Do we have 50% overhead now with mobile diagnostics? No. You're like at 7%, maybe 10% at the most. And then you do 30 a month, that's $1 million a year. So yes, it's worth knowing this, it's worth applying it, it's worth buying the diagnostics, and it's worth not only building the personal injury in your practice, but you're gonna naturally create business. When you start creating referrals from these attorneys, you're gonna naturally start creating referrals that they have in other towns. That's too far to come to you. So what are you gonna do? Just walk away from the business, Steve?
No, you're gonna find another way to make it happen.
I just told you how. I just told you how. And what I just told you is exactly what I'm doing here in my county. I got my one office, and I've got 7 co-management agreements. I got six other doctors. I got 7 offices in the county now. So when I go into the offices, I say I've got 7 offices, not 1. So I'm going to get treated a lot different than you with 1 office, just from that alone. So that's what you want. You want a co-management agreement in other major cities in the county, do the diagnostic test. When you have a referral that's in those other areas, you take 30% plus 100% of the diagnostics. There you go.
Okay.
And just keep going. And you'll be much stronger. Like I'm much stronger from a marketing standpoint with 7 offices than 1. Our phone call sounds something like this when we call the attorney's office. Hey, this is Mary from the Car Injury Doctor Network. We have 7 offices in the metro Broward County area. We see over 30,000 patient visits a year. Is it possible that we have our doctors, we're looking to increase our referral network with attorneys who do personal injury? Do you do personal injury? Yeah. Is it possible that we can set up a meeting with our doctors to introduce our doctors to your attorneys to increase our referral network? What kind of answer do you think I get with that phone call?
Yes.
Well, guess what they hear?
What?
Well, if you're a business person, what the hell just resonated with you?
An increase of money flow.
Yeah, you heard a player. You heard 7 offices and 30,000 patient visits. You didn't hear a mom and pop shop.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
That's the difference it makes.
Mm.
So anyway, that's how you leverage this up. So it's not just about you. You get all the referrals, not just the ones that he has in your backyard. And that's how you do it. Oh, by the way, when I do the co-management agreement, how much did it cost me?
Nothing.
Nothing. Nothing. Chiropractors don't think that way. Every chiropractor is afraid of the next chiropractor.